Oh boy. Friends, when I tell you that it is a struggle today, oh, it is a struggle today. We struggling. But hang up. We have a cat. We have a cat. We have a cat, and when there is a cat, everything is awesome. Look at that Jamie Dodgers. What a good girl. I literally just stepped out of the shower oh gosh, less than half an hour ago. I'm trying to do the fastest freaking setup ever. And yeah, I'm struggling. So, as long as we have a cat and also a cat, hello, and hello, Ray, and hello, Marie, and hello, Sylvia. You spent hours with a cat on your lap reading today. Love that. My hair is still wet. Jammy Dodgers has a new little thing that she basically lives in all the time. She's decided that we got this donut thing we ordered from Chewy, and it's one of those ones that has an inside tunnel area thing, as well as the top section, and Budgie has been found inside it several times, but Jammy, that's her new favorite place to be. So the reason why I'm kind of in a bit of a tizzy here right at the moment is because I'm trying desperately to finish up these swatch rings that I started doing. That it didn't occur to me that I was going to want to do these ahead of time until I got out of the shower. Which again, I came into my nail room half an hour ago. So yeah, I'm not prepared. So I'm trying to get these things done. Basically what I did before stream, was I went to my drawers, and I went to my drawers with and my shelves with a black light. And I just pulled everything that is neon in the proper sense, where it actually glows under black light, but that also vibes neon. So I kind of left out a few things that are technically you can tell that if you have the black light on them, you can tell that they contain neon pigment, but they extremely don't look neon when you're just looking at them. And they were not advertised as neon, and that is not a dominant sort of trait that they have. They just happen to contain some pigment that is blacklight reactive. So I left those out. But that still left me with a lot. So many more than I expected. Yeah, so not doing it ahead of time does have the advantage of you being able to see how opaque everything is as it gets applied. But I also want to do some nail art, selfishly, and because I get bored with streams where I'm just showing you polish. Yeah, and a bunch of the polishes that I'm showing, some of them are ones that I've gotten in PR. Some of them are not available at all. Some of them are, there's a couple that are not available yet. But a bunch of them are just ones that I own. So it's a real mishmash, and like there's a bunch of different formulas and, you know, whatever. So what I've decided to do kind of as like a way for you to also be able to tell how opaque things are, is I've done all of them in 2 coats. And so you'll be able to see on the swatch wheels that not all of them are fully opaque on the swatch wheel. And while the swatch wheel is, of course, more transparent than my actual nails, I think it at least gives you a pretty decent idea. If it's definitely like still quite sheer in 2 coats or quite patchy in 2 coats, it's probably going to look a bit sheer on your nails as well. So, yeah, separate streams for just organizing would be good. I do kind of want to do that, but also, I don't know what day to do it, and I haven't managed to get my shit together to do that. Know what I mean? Just hasn't happened. And I don't necessarily always do these like swatch wheels. I probably should do more of them since I have the wheels. I mean, I already own the bloody things, so I might as well do something with them besides just like swatch out during streams. Would probably be useful. Look how pretty. Oh, so good. Let that dry, and then I have one more mini wheel to do. So yeah, the point of tonight's stream is I want to do some neon nail art, but I also, and like neon nail art that's inspired by neon signs specifically. But I also want to show you a couple of the new collections. So there's the Monarch collection and the BCB collection, both of which are all neon. And, well, I don't know if I would say, there's one of the BCBs that I have not included because while it is part of a collection of neons, it doesn't really respond under blacklight so much. So I have excluded it from this. But we can talk more about that as we're going through. And yeah, no, like I said, there's some in here that like were not advertised as neons, but definitely are. Yeah, send me some Get It Together vibes. Rax, your heart just stopped. Don't worry, you're gonna see more of that swatch wheel. I promise you, you're gonna see so much more of that swatch wheel. So the ones I'm doing right now, I'm just doing the last few, first coat of the last few of my yellows, starting from like some greeny yellows. But I have, and this is just going to be a partial ring, but I have 3 rings of neons to show you. So yeah, good times. And Jammy Dodgers is doing a very good job being adorable. I might want to just rotate her bed just a tiny little bit. This is definitely like the highlighter. Ugh, oh my god. Okay, this is why I don't buy mainstreams. Ew! Ew! Why? Oh my god. Listen, there's no excuse for that. It's like frickin' cottage cheese. Nasty. You know what? I'm not buying from these assholes now anyway. I mean, I only ever owned like 3 or 4, and they're garbage, so whatever. No loss, but fucking Orly. Anyway. But wow, your polish should not have the consistency of cottage cheese. It should not literally have chunks in it. That's nasty. All right. I'll show you. I'll do the nails up display when I do the second coat for that, so y'all can see that. Let me rotate Jammy a bit and then go blow my nose, and I'll be right back. There you go. I forgot to refill my. Yeah, I forgot to refill my Kleenex. You want some Kleenex? Yeah, you're a good girl. I'm such a weirdo. All right. Whew. I'm back. I'm like so overdue for a haircut, y'all. I have one scheduled for, I don't know, like a week and a half or something from now. Can't remember. But I'll be very glad to get all this crap off. Okay, so this, let me just do a quick labeling here. Gonna do second coats. And then I promise we'll get straight into the swatch wheels and show you what I have. And there's some that I think like some of you will definitely want to see some comparisons for, because there's between the Monarch collection that just dropped, which I got in PR, and have an affiliate code for. That is Vext10 for 10% off. And the BCB collection that is going to be launching on May 3rd, which is their Indieversary, their 5th Indieversary, which is all inspired by video games. And there's some overlap there. I will say they're definitely not. There's some cats outside that are very angry. Yeah, there's none of them are dupes of each other. They're very different collections. But I know some people will want to see that. Jammy heard the outside cat fight and took off like a shot. I did not get to see it. I heard the sound and then looked over and Jammy was gone. Well, we're gonna have to find ourselves another cat, I guess. Yeah, the foxes are way cuter than the angry cats. I'm gonna show you the cottage cheese. This is so awful. Look at how chunky. And the brush is all messed up. Are you gonna focus? Can you focus for me? No, you can't focus for me. It's so gross. It was like that right from when I first bought it, and like, ugh, it's so chunky. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Like, I basically have never really bought mainstreams. I have a handful of SEs. I'm sure I could make this be slightly better with some thinner and a lot of shaking, but I'm just not that invested right now. It's really, yeah, it's really bad. But yeah, that's just one of the many, many, many reasons that I don't buy orally. Anyway, all right. So let me go get the other wheels. Okay. Now, none of these are top coated. So these ones are the pinks and oranges. So ones to note on here, and there's also some more pinky purpley ones. The BCB, so this one here is BCB pheromones. That was the one that was part of the smut collection. So everyone should recognize that one. Really quite intense. Nothing else quite the same on here. I would say this one is the closest. This is not available yet, and I can't tell you about it yet. But that will be coming mid-May from somebody else. But that's probably the closest in terms of tone, but has a green shimmer rather than the sort of blue-violet shimmer that Pheromones has. The other new ones from BCB that are coming in the upcoming collection, these guys here. So let me grab those. Where are you, my friends? All right. Oh, yeah. So one of them, this is where it starts to get a little weird. So Hadouken and Abugidaba, these two. Oh, that's in the wrong spot. We've got a cat cam in the way. Sorry. These two here are coming in the new collection on May 3rd. This was the one from April PPU. Okay. So you can see they are a little different in the bottle. And I do think it's easier to see on the swatch wheel. So this one here is the one that was from the PPU in April. And then you've got this guy here and this guy here in the new collection. So the new one is much more red. And much more red and much more orange. It's sort of bracketing. And they all have, I think it's the same shimmer in all three of them. I'm not sure if the whole collection has the same shimmer. I don't think so, because the shimmer in the purple one looks very greeny to me. But I can't tell if that's just because of the background that it's in. It's a little challenging to tell. Cat, I mean, you could bring your Vortex, but literally I have like 3 polishes that would use it, and they're all shitty ones that I never used to begin with. And they're all from Orly. So, yeah. So, let me grab the full... Just grabbing the other BCBs, so you can sort of see the whole collection and the other ones they have that are not part of it. So these guys are the new BCB collection. And then this is HHC from April. So you can see that it's kind of in between. It's much more of a greeny tone. So that is that this one? I think that's this one. Yes, that's this one here. And then this one is Hop In, which is a little bit more of a yellowy color. And it's, hopefully you can tell, I think you can tell, certainly on the nail, it's quite noticeable when they're next to each other. And there is Let's Go from the new collection, this one right here. Other polishes to note on this wheel. because I know people are obsessed with it. Atomic Polish. Oh, Atomic Polish Sour Apple Rings is this one right here. Okay. It is not a dupe for the Unacceptable BCB, which is the one that was from HHC. It is certainly not a dupe for the new Let's A Go that's coming out, which is a very different kind of green. But you'll note it's pretty darn similar, not quite 100% dupe, but very similar to this other one beside it that's just marked with an M. And that's the other big collection that just came out from Monarch. So, I'm gonna grab those. There's the Atomic. There's the Monarch. Very close dupe for it. And hang on, I just gotta find them all. One, two, three, four. I feel like I'm missing one. Was that not a 5 or 6 piece? Yeah, there it is. How did I manage to say what? Okay, so this is the new collection from Monarch that's coming out. So again, a little different. I don't know how to order these. So this one just came out on May 1st. And as I said, there are no dupes between the BCBs and the Monarchs. So the closest things, the Monarch this is the most similar, would be the Monarch and Unacceptable from HHC. But the shimmer is completely different. The base color is probably the same. There's nothing in the Monarch that's close to Let's A Go. BCB did have a blue in this collection, but that's the one that I pulled. And I'll show you. It's more cyan, but more importantly, it does not fluoresce under blacklight. I don't know if I'll be able to show you this or not. It doesn't really do anything under blacklight. Whereas this, you can see extremely does something. I'm sorry it's flashing, but that's the way it goes. So I didn't include this one from the new BCB collection that's coming out on the 3rd upgrade capsule. Because it's not a true neon. So I left it off of these, but it is coming out with the others. Listen, saying Let's A Go with no intonation, with no Mario voice, I can't right now. And I will not hear any criticism. I'm sorry. I'm not doing the Mario voice right now. So yeah, and even if it were proper neon, it's nothing like the Monarch one. As far as the more purpley tones, obviously the Monarch is nowhere near Pheromones or your Toast Nork from BCB. It almost has some of these Monarchs have an almost pastel-ish vibe, like very much neon, but also kind of pastel neon in a way. Not quite all the way pastel neon, but kind of pastel, which I'm not mad at. I think that's a nice thing. Oof, nice. SPF 1000 from Monarch. Closest things would be Pheromones or Beyond the Sunset Leads My Way. Neither of those is anywhere near a dupe. Very different. Again, slightly sort of pastel vibes for SPF 1000, which incidentally is the SPF that I require personally. This is the one where you get a little closer. So Kind of Fried, Kind of Fabulous, and Hadouken, which I do think in the Street Fighter sound effect, but I am not saying. Base color of these two is very similar, but the shimmer makes it vibe completely differently. And I have those two on this wheel, actually right next to each other. So you can see it's these two here. They are really very different from each other. Both pretty opaque on me in 2 coats. Depending on how your application is, you might want a 3rd coat for some of them. But yeah, it was pretty good in 2 coats for all of those ones. You're discussing how I was able to say it so normally? Yeah. How's my squoob feeling? Sore. It's feeling sore. But fine. Like, you know, it's not horrible. Yeah, unacceptable as well, being able to say that normally. I have a lot of practice. Although we've basically decided that that Budgie Smuggler is the Earl of Lemongrab, because she reacts that way whenever anything is the slightest bit not to her liking. She gets very upset and screams about it. It's very entertaining. So my headcanon is that she is yelling unacceptable to everything. Okay. And the other thing I want to point out is like the Holo Taco ones, which I know a lot of you have, the Holo Taco retro jellies. So that's this one, this one, this one, this one here, and this one here. So you can see with those ones that they are a lot more sheer. So you have kind of a reference point for how opaque these other guys are, even on clear swatch wheels. So, does anybody have any questions about these or anything? Do you want to actually see, like, in person, live, not in person, but live as you're watching swatching of any of those ones? Because I'm willing to do it. I just do want to get to some nail art. But I have 2 hands, and I'm only going to do nail art on one of them. So if there's anything in particular that you're like dying to see, what kind of signs we making? I don't know, Kat. What kind of signs y'all want to see? I got to do a black base coat. Actually, I haven't even put base on my nails yet. See these freaking shorties? A tragedy. A tragedy. But at least I have now my 4th and final Alex assembled and put into place, and I've managed to clean up the absolute clusterfuck that was my nail room floor. It was truly just a horrendous amount of chaos, but yeah, it's like there's floor space now, which is nice. I mean, not a huge amount because there's a lot of stuff in here still, but, you know, now at least it's not a bunch of random crap that was supposed to be in storage. Marie asks the question, very important question, excellent question. when am I sending the BCB to you? Never. Because it's mine. It's mine. The pretties are mine. Mine? They're nice shorties at least. Thank you. I will say my left hand shorties are definitely in better shape than my right hand shorties, because my poor right hand shorties do not get anywhere near the love and affection that my left hand does. But that's okay. Oh boy, don't stack those when they're still a bit tacky. Let's put these guys up here. And then we'll start doing some base and then black. And then while I'm doing my base, we can figure out what neon sign art I'm going to do. I mean, I feel like it's got to be kind of summer vibes. And since I have shorties, it does have to be a little bit similar, or a little bit similar. What the hell, man? Has to be a little bit simple. I can't be doing any ridiculously complex things. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take? Yeah, you and Wayne Gretzky. Used to paraphrase that a lot, and refer to him as things like beloved Canadian philosopher Wayne Gretzky. But now I'm mad at that motherfucker. You got the clip perfectly. I don't know what clip you got, but... Flamingo? I knew someone was going to say flamingo. Bastards. You have mushrooms on your nails again. That sounds fun. Yeah, flamingo is not impossible. It's just extremely challenging on short nails, but I can probably make it work. I feel like it would be good to do like things that work well in a variety of different colors. So like pink flamingo, I could use one of the pinks, and then I would want something like maybe a palm tree, could use like a yellow and a green. Oh, the mine. Unicorn is definitely going to be a little on the complex side, I think. For the sides. Why am I mad at the hockey player? Because he is pro-Cheeto and thinks that Canada should become a state. So he is dead to me. I didn't turn my light on, y'all. Pink flamingo, green palm tree, flip-flops, orange drink. Yeah, flip-flops have the advantage of being very flexible in terms of color. That might be fun to do in like blue for the base, and then like for the shoe shape, and then something else maybe for the thong part. That could be entertaining. All right. Do I want to do... I don't really need to do a ridge filling coat on this. It'll be fine without, right? Just use the sticky base. How are you doing here? Do you need thinner? I think you're okay. Need to do a little cleanup here. This is one of my several favorite one coat black polishes here. This one's Monarch Nocturnal Noir. It tends to be my go-to for black creme these days. I also really like... I find... So the Holo Taco one I liked better before they reformulated, even though the... like the first version of it I thought was better, even though the brush sucked. And then it seems to not be quite as good as it was. And I like the Abomination one that I got in PR, which is called The Abyss. Most of the other ones I've tried, I have been less impressed with. The problem with having a really good one coat black is that if you get it in the crease between your nail and your skin, it lives there forever. Yours is still the first version, but you switched the brush out? Man, I could not be me. Could not be me. I've been through so many bottles of black creme. I went through 3 or 4 bottles of the Holo Taco one coat black. And this is, I think, my second bottle of Monarch's Nocturnal Noir. And in the meantime, I've been through other black polishes as well, and finished at least one bottle. Mostly, if they don't measure up, though, I just shuffle them away in a drawer somewhere, or give them away, or toss them out, depending on how bad they are. Oh, I'm not even including stamping blacks. Yeah, I've also been through one full stamping black bottle from that Voldemort brand that I don't use anymore. Like a good vampire red. Yeah, I don't use red as often, though. Yeah, it's very much the nail art thing. It's purely because I do so bloody much nail art. So I am going to use, I'm going to do a coat of just a regular top coat on this before I get started with anything, because I want to give myself a bit of insurance. Hello, Filet. So we've got flamingo flip-flops, palm tree. I see star-shaped sunglasses. That's kind of a fun idea. Wonder if I can do that, though, given the length of my nails. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out how precise I can be. Oh, I have the new, I got a couple of the new Starly brushes. I only got 4 of them, 3 of them. I got 3 of them. I was very good. Y'all. But I got, so I got the Mega Point, which is the like super long liner. And I got, hang on, the Macro Point, which is more of a medium-sized liner, which is a little thinner than the other liners of a similar length that I have. And then, most excitingly, and relevant to tonight, I think I will probably need to use this Nano Point, which is so small that my camera is struggling to even see it. So for comparison, my Cirque detail brush that I normally use for everything is this one, which I think is the same size as There was an in-between size that the Starly had. Might have been called micro, because this is the nano and that other one was the macro. So I think that it was the micro. I'm pretty sure that's the same size as this Cirque one, and like looks to be about as thin. But the nano is the first one I've seen that is smaller even than my Cirque one. So we'll definitely get some use out of this one tonight and try it out. I'm excited about it. And the packaging is really pretty, and like it's got these like embedded little sparkle, like little rhinestones in the lid. And I just know I'm gonna destroy these so fast. I just know I will. Also, hang on. The little individual holders that they came with, they come with these little, like, what is the point of this? I don't understand. Like, I guess if I was gonna travel, maybe. No, I wouldn't. I never would. It'd be a waste of space. I would just toss this in a pencil case. When am I ever gonna use this thing? I don't know. It seems like a waste to me. It's nice, but it seems like a waste to me. I don't know. Whatever. It came with it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna ruin it with acetone for sure. Yeah, the holsters, it's bizarre. How often do I replace brushes? I mean, not often. Not often at all. I still have the very first nail art brushes I ever got, which were like a huge set for $10 or whatever on Amazon. And I still use some of them sometimes. So when you need a nail art brush holster to hold a single pen, yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's exactly right, Kat. You don't really replace them so much as you acquire new ones. I have so many. I just have fistfuls of nail art brushes. But like some of them just don't get used very much. Sometimes the ones that are not as good I will use for things where I feel like they might get fucked up. I just fucking pulled up some of my polish with my top coat, so that's good. This is why I don't understand those people who are able to float their top coat enough to not use smudge-free top coat with stuff, because like it doesn't matter how carefully I float. It literally doesn't matter how carefully I float. I am 100% of the time always going to end up causing a problem. And I'm going to have to do another coat on my thumb because I lifted just enough to mess it up. Yeah, you have them in a cup. Silicone bottle holder, that's a good idea. I have this wonderful thing that my stepdaughter made for me. Hang on. This thing. So they live in there. This is all my brushes. Okay, I gotta rig this back up. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I don't feel like I'm heavy-handed, though, Like, I guess I must be somehow, but y'all have seen my swatch videos. Like, most of the time, I'm pretty generous with how much I'm putting on, and I tend to just do, 3 floated strokes or less. per nail. So I don't know. I'm not sure how people do it. I'm less heavy-handed than you are, yeah. Definitely, we know that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but I know that it's annoying. Because people insist that they can use these, like, polishes that claim to be smudge resistant, but they have all the same solvents that regular polish has. And I'm like, how is that in any way smudge resistant if it contains everything you need to dissolve the stuff that you've just put down? I don't get it. Okay, let's see. Do I need reference for any of this? I might want reference for Flamingo, huh? Let me see. Flamingo. Oh, Flamingo Neon Light is a suggested. There we go. I'll look at one of those for reference. That seems like a good thing to look at. I don't want to actually go to a listing. I just want to look at some damn pictures. Yeah, okay. I think I want one with its leg raised. But more simple than that. Trying to pick one that's like simple enough without going over. You know what I mean? I still have, for some reason, so I've switched to Kagi for all of my mobile devices for search because Google sucks. And like it gives bad results now. This is not even a political thing. It's just, it actually just straight up sucks these days. So I switched to Kagi and I like it way better for everything. But for some reason I haven't switched to it on my laptop yet. And so I'm like still suffering with stupid Google on my laptop. For no reason. Do my LED lights. I seriously read that as do your red lights, and I'm like, I don't know, Ray, I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm not doing my LED lights. That's too complicated. Okay, so I found a Flamingo reference and then immediately put it away so that I can't see it anymore. Let's just, can I open that image in a new tab? Yes, let's do that. There we go. Do I want to put this up for y'all to look at? Maybe, huh? Let's see if I can choose. Can I choose a Safari Flamingo? That's the one right there. Okay. There it is. That's my reference. That's the one I'm going to try and do. So, what color? Maybe SPF 1000? I think SPF 1000 would probably be good for this one. Hadouken, I think, is too red. I'm going to try SPF 1000 for this. And I think I'm going to do this on, maybe on my ring nail. Also, I'm going to need white. Okay. So I'm going to do the design in white first. and then go from there. Do I want to do it with the... No, I think I want to do this part with the circ brush. I want it slightly bigger. All right, so let's see. See how bad I'm going to fuck this up. Get like a... I can tell already this is going to be really good. From the fact that I'm struggling to even start. It's always a really good sign when I'm struggling to start. All right, it kind of looks vaguely similar. All you Florida people, don't tell me where I'm going wrong with this flamingo. All right. Oh boy, I can already see that I've caused myself a huge problem. I've made that too close. Thankfully, we don't have to be too careful about cleanup because we're going to have a certain amount of glow around all of it. And I feel like this is already too big. It is, isn't it? There's no way I'm fitting all of that on there if I start that big. We begin again. This is why we top coat. There's a hair on there too. Fucking cats, man. Could you cheat by using a white stamp to make a neon sign? 100%. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. I strongly encourage that sort of behavior. If you're not a fucking idiot like me, you should definitely stamp your base design. You just want it to be fairly simple. Okay, let's start again. We will try, I'm going to start with the boob part first. So I think that will give me a better, yeah. And then this part will come that way. And then this part. Speaking of Florida people, I think I just saw Maymay. Hi, Maymay. You crave the void. What, how good was your day that you're here craving the void? It sounds like it was a real good one. All right, go this leg, go that away, and this away, and this away. Sure, that's good enough, right? And then this leg goes straight down. I need a cat. Do you have any cats for me?
Senna wants to come in.
Well, I need a cat in here that will sit still.
I don't know where Budgie is.
Why don't you bring me any available cat that will sit still and plop it into that gray thing or somewhere else. And then close the door and let Cinna in. Cinna wants upstairs. She's knocking on the gate. Who we got? You got a Tammy? Yeah, okay. I just need to redirect my phone here, or my camera here. There we go. Jammy's like, I just fucking left here. Brian scared you? Oh, I'm sorry that work was a train wreck. Okay, so there is the beginning part of what we're doing here. And we're going to let it dry a little bit while we do the next thing, which I think should be maybe flip-flops. Let's try some flip-flops. Okay, let me see if I can find some flip-flops. Hang on. All right, what is this doing? That's good. Okay, good. Flip flops. Neon sign. I don't like those ones. Those aren't terrible. Anybody who was scared of Brian's feet really, I don't know about y'all. All right, there we go. That's going to be the next one, I think. Do I want to do a pair, though, or do I want to just do one? A pair might be challenging. I don't know if I can do a pair, but then again, having one flip-flop on its own seems kind of weird, so maybe I have to do a pair. Jamie looked startled for a second and then decided to nap. That's how it generally goes with Jamie. Jamie is often like, I guess I'll just sleep. Something changed? Okay, I'll sleep. All right. Let's see. We'll try and do 2 flip-flops here if we can. Hopefully I can make it look not too ridiculously stupid. I don't know, we'll find out. Yeah. All right, we'll have to do a little cleanup there. And then this side. Try and get vaguely symmetrical-ish, if we can. It's challenging at this scale, y'all. And then we get like a little of this thingy on each side. And then my white's starting to gloop up on me. A pair could go on my thumb, but I was sort of thinking about those star sunglasses or some other kind of sunglasses, which I think will be even more difficult. So I feel like putting those on my thumb might be better. I don't know. Does this read as flip-flops? What do we think? I think it kind of reads as flip-flops. Are they flip-flops? I think they might be flip-flops. Yeah, the delay is such that by the time y'all type something, a suggestion or something, I've usually already gone ahead unless I've like stopped to wait. I agree, you should do nails to make yourselves feel better. I'm so brave for hand painting. No, I just don't have stamps for this stuff. That's all. What other suggestions did we have? We had a palm tree. Let's do a palm tree on my index. Oh, I should look up palm tree reference first. Hang on. Palm tree neon sign. Well, that's a nice one, yeah. Let's see. Do I want to do one like that, or do I want to do one like that? Well, let's switch over to the images tab here. Okay, I think I like this one. Can you... Hello? No? Oh, God. Okay, close that bullshit. Close... Whoa, can't... No, 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 no. Sorry. Oh, boy. Hang on a second, y'all. Let me get a new thingy up. Jeez Louise. This is being very annoying. Alright. Please. Open image in new tab. Please and thank you. Alright. Move you into your own thing. You. Close. Honestly. This does not need to be this complicated. Not that one. That one. There we go. We got it. Jeez Louise. What if you do Pokemon neon signs? I love that idea. All right, so I will have to probably simplify that a little bit, but that's what we're going to try for. I might omit the horizontal thingies on the branch, or on the trunk rather. That might be too much of a curve, Peggy. Try to have a reasonable amount of curve. And then let's go give this palm tree some balls. I have to decide whether the balls are going to be green or yellow. So the trunk is, I think, going to be yellow. All right, go there. Definitely need to simplify this a bit. We're glooping up. Glooping up! Yeah, I think that neon Pokemon would be very fun. I love that idea. And heck, if you've got the stamps to do it, why the heck not? Oh boy. There we go. This is like far more difficult than you might expect. Certainly far more difficult than I would have expected. I probably should have started a little smaller with this, but I didn't. So it is what it is. I hear a Jammy Dodgers moving around. Okay, there's our palm. You made some fluid blobs and figured out a good secondary polish for tomorrow. Depending on how dry they are, you might redo them. What colors did you use, Kat? Look at that Jammy Dodgers. What a good kitty she is. Look at how freaking cute she is. That's ridiculous. Let me move this. There. What a good girl. So cute. Okay. Next up, what else did we have? Use Spectre and a Sinful Colors Lavender. What's Spectre, Kat? I don't know what that is. Okay, so we did flamingo, we did palm trees, we did flip-flops. We want to do some sunglasses on the thumb. What am I going to do on the pinky? Did we have another idea for the pinky? I can't even. Nice. Okay, I need some sunglasses. Sunglasses neon sign. There's some fun heart-shaped ones. Regular ones with like the horizontal lines through them. Let me be a little more specific. Search for star sunglasses. See if I can find that. Not seeing those as a neon sign, which is interesting. I see lots of star sunglasses that have LEDs in them, which is kind of fun. But I don't see reference for star sunglasses as a neon sign. I might do... What do we think about... Oh boy, you're so small. What do we think about this instead? I don't hate this idea. I think that would work on my thumb. I might have to do it sort of diagonally, but I think it can work. I remember that name, I Can't Even, but I don't think I remember the polish. But then a blurple, hollow, fluid polish probably wouldn't be one that would immediately catch my attention. Yes, the jammy snores are so good. Okay, so let's see. If we can do something vaguely like Sunglasses. All right. Now, do I want that to be the inside? I guess that has to be the outside because of the way it is, because of the way I made it. Okay, so that's the outside. And then get this part. And then we come across. And then down a little bit. And you would think I would know what glasses look like without needing reference since I've been wearing them for a bajillion years, but turns out I don't actually look at my glasses all that much. Okay. Definitely going to need to do a little cleanup on this before we get to the next stage, but that's okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those little stripes on the inside. Am I going to be able to get those stripes on the inside? If the sunglasses fail, I can make it boobies. Yeah. Excellent. It's all boobies all the time around here these days. That's all we can think about. I am sort of bemused by the weird squoval reshaping of the one side since the surgery, but I'm like it looks normal pretty much with a bra on, so I guess it's fine? Question mark? It's a little weird though. And I get to have my follow-up on the 9th. So that's exciting. And I went and I looked because I got a thing from the insurance company that was like, I got it like yesterday in the mail that was like, hey, so about that tramadol that your surgeon prescribed for you for after the surgery, here are some things you need to know about safe use of opiates and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, even if I had taken the tramadol, which I didn't, they gave me so few of them that they would have all been gone by the time that letter arrived from the insurance company warning me about the dangers of opioids. I'm like, are you all paying attention at all? Do you have any idea what's going on? Ray, you're going to do a bunch of near dupes? Dupe Skittles? Yeah, I don't know about this this stripe situation here. I feel like this is sort of doomed to fail. I can do 2 stripes. I can do 2 stripes in them. That's it. 2 stripes. I guess it's good enough. We'll take it. Yeah, May, an attempt was made. I still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do on my pinky. What should I do on my pinky? Let's just Google neon sign and see what they come up with. Cherries, martini, There's some... Oh, there's a little Saturn planet. That could be fun. Lightning bolt, rainbow. Rainbow's easy enough. Dinosaur. I don't know about the dinosaur. What about a lightning bolt? I could do a lightning bolt. Maybe we'll do that. Lips. Yeah, maybe lips. Lips could fit on my pinky. I'm realizing I should have done the palm tree on my thumb. That ended up being the biggest design. What else we got here? I don't know. What do we think? Do we want lips? Do we want a lightning bolt? I'm gonna do a poll here. Lips, lightning bolt, or rainbow? Hold up, let me start a poll. Hello, poll. Pick one. Lips. Lightning. Oh, that is not how you spell lightning. Oh boy. Yeah. Or, what did I say? Lips, lightning, or, oh yeah, rainbow. Okay. There we go. Banana mustache? Absolutely not. Tropical drink. Umbrella. Y'all? No. I have the tiniest amount of space to work with. We need a few more votes. So far, rainbow is winning. Jammy Dodgers, do you have a vote? I think rainbow might be the winner. All right, rainbow it is. I'm going to close up the poll. All right, we're doing a rainbow. Okay. Rainbow. In theory, this should be relatively straightforward, but in practice, I bet you anything it's going to be the worst one. Because that's the way this sort of thing tends to work. One. Probably only get like 3 or 4 colors in here. We'll see how many arches I manage to fit in. Whoop. Oh, it's going to need a little cleanup too. This is like, there's so much more of this to do. We haven't even gotten to any of the color. This is why I wanted to have the swatch wheels done ahead of time. Because I know that this particular kind of nail art just is really time consuming. I've done enough neon sign nail art to know that it's going to take freaking forever every time. Every time. The only exception is if you start with stamping. And even then, you still got a multi-step thing to do. My acetone has evaporated a bit too much and has almost exclusively other stuff that isn't acetone in it at this point. The stuff in the little dish, I mean. I had originally poured from the stuff that has the glycerin in it, my DIY antidote stuff. Okay. I think that's probably pretty good for our first layer. Who else needs some cleanup? That's fine. All right. First stage done. Woohoo! Now, the second stage would depend a little bit on how opaque your neons are. Since I am using very opaque neons, I have to modify my technique a little bit. So one of the things that I would normally do with this, if I was using less opaque polishes, hang on, let me just de-dust this a little bit so I can demo this for you. And you can still kind of do this with super opaque neons, but it does get a little bit more challenging. You have to end up adding some thinner and such. So you can make your inner line, and then basically use either thinner or acetone. I typically use thinner for this, to make a little cloudy area around the edges. And this actually kind of helps to have a slightly fluffier brush than the detail brush that I'm using. Hang on. Just sort of a little bit of, give it a bit of a haze. And it doesn't matter if you know, sort of mess up the center line a little bit at this stage. You're just sort of building a little haze around the edges of it, okay? And I might or might not do that with this because I feel like with these ones, my polishes that I'm using are a little too opaque for this. So what you would do then is if you're using more of a jelly-like neon that's a little less opaque, you can brush sort of clumsily. Why is there an ant on my nail table? Are you fucking kidding me? How has this happened? Do you see this? Hello? There's an ant. Hello? What are you doing here? You don't belong here. Dude. How did you even get here? Okay. Well, confusing. Yeah, so if you do this technique, if you use something that's a little bit less opaque, like for instance, if you have the, if what you're working with is something like the Hollow Taco ones, you can kind of brush over the whole thing and you'll get, you can be a lot less precise, and you'll get a pretty good, a pretty good sort of yellow haze around that central yellow line. And that's like 80% of your work done. All right. Now with the ones that I'm using, I suspect they're going to be a little too opaque to do this with. I will test it here because if it will work, then it'll be a lot easier. But I think, yeah, they're going to be too opaque. And the shimmer as well, I think, is going to fuck it up. Definitely too opaque. So I can't do that with these. Maybe I should use the Holotaco ones to make my life easier. I kind of do want to just show off the new ones, though. So I think I want to use the new ones. But yeah, so that's how I would do that if I was using something that was less opaque and didn't have a shimmer. But we're not going to do it quite that way with this one because of the fact that it's a little too opaque. So hopefully that explanation of that technique makes sense. Going to do things slightly differently with this. So, our pink flamingo, I will start with that because that's the one that's the driest at this point. And I am going to thin it out a little bit because it will make my life a little easier with this. Because I'm still kind of going to use a similar technique, but just a little different because if I have the white behind it, it's definitely going to be too much. But I think with this thinned out, I should be able to get a similar effect just by brushing it over a little bit messy. So very opaque, neon, far too opaque to do on its own. We bypass that other method, thin it out, and brush it directly in this messier way. But if what you have is something that's more like those Holotaco ones, that other method works really super well. And I think is probably a little easier. I just really wanted to use these polishes in particular and do neon sign nails in particular. So that's why you're getting a weird hybrid. Okay. So this is step 2. And then there is going to be another step after this part has dried as well. Okay, so for our flip-flops, I think I want to do a blue flip-flop. And what color should I do the thong on the flip-flop? What do we think? Yeah, shit. Half of my thinner rolled off the edge of my little palette here. You are not thin enough as a result, as I lost too much. Blue and yellow, orange. Orange? Okay. We'll do orange then. Jim, he's snoring over there. What a good girl. This might still be a bit too... Might need a little more thinner for this. I don't know. Well, yeah, maybe it's okay. The shimmer makes it interesting to work with this technique because it looks more opaque at some angles than others because of the shimmer. It's a bit of a challenge for doing the halo parts. All right, and then for orange, I think I'll use a boogadaba. A boogadaba. All right. Oop. A little too much up there. So the last thing we do with this after putting in all this color part is going to be to get back in with white again and do just a super thin trace along the center line, which is optional, but really sells the effect, I think. So you get to be super messy with this part, and then if you can be super precise with the last part, then it really sells it. Okay, palm tree, we want to do a yellow, and I think I want a greeny or maybe... So obviously green for the fronds. Do I want to do a greeny yellow for the trunk, or do I want to do like an orange for the trunk? Or a yellow for the trunk? What do we think? Y'all tell me while I'm doing the leaves which color I should use for the trunk. Since I don't have a brown neon. I'm not sure if brown neon exists, but if it does, I don't have one. Seems like a brown neon would just be a weird dull orange. All right. I like this about neons, that you get to just be messy during this part of it, because you're going to have that glow that goes outside the bounds anyway. So you can just kind of slop it on. And it's perfectly fine. I'm seeing green, yellow, 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 and yellow. So no votes for orange then. We want a yellow. All right, yellow it is. Let's use Hop In for this. It's one of the new BCBs, as is that green I was just using. All the ones I'm using here for this are either the new BCB or that is coming out in a few days, or the new Monarch that came out the other day. Just because I feel like it seems like the thing to do, you know? Use the new ones to do the fun nail art. All right. Little messy glow. Whenever you see palm tree neon signs, the trunk is either brown or yellow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have I've never seen or heard of a brown neon nail polish. I've definitely seen brownish neon signs, but I think actual, like, those signs, they have sort of more options for what kind of coloration they can use, because they have so many different chemicals they can use that we can't use on our nails. Okay, sunglasses. I'm thinking red for the outside of the sunglasses. So maybe Hadouken. And then I have 2 different stripe colors that I can do on the inside. So let me know what colors I should choose for the 2 stripes on the inside of the sunglasses, if the outside is Hadouken. Move. She has a pretty good snore going. Yeah. Whoa, too much, too much. I'll just move you around. So I've decided I'm gonna start making like little short highlight reels from the live streams. So I did the first one today, and it's actually from the first live stream I did on YouTube, which was the Valentine's Day bugs. And I did like a 6-minute highlight reel from that, which was like a 2 or 3 hour stream, as I recall. So there's like nothing useful in it whatsoever. It's all just absolute nonsense, but it seems kind of fun. So I'll post that later on this week, and hopefully I'll be able to sort of catch up a bit over the next few weeks, so that I'm not like literally months behind on those. But I thought it would be kind of a fun addition to be able to have as videos on the channel, for if you want to catch the vibe of the stream without having to actually sit through 3 hours of stream. Purple inside. I need 2 colors for inside, I think. I mean, I guess I could do 2 stripes of purple, but I feel like I feel like 2 different colors would be better for the stripes. Don't you think? Is that just me? Of course, I just managed to overlap half of one of the colors. A fun editing project. Yeah. Certainly a time-consuming editing project, because if the stream is like 3 hours long, which many of these are, I have to watch the entire thing, and as I go along, sort of decide and rewatch certain parts multiple times and decide which parts I want to actually keep. So yeah, it's a little time-consuming. I feel like maybe a yellow and a purple. Let's do a yellow and a purple. Or this greeny. Let's use this greeny color. Glare Tactics. This is the one that's like almost a perfect dupe for Atomic Sour Apple rings. Just saying. If you missed the atomic one, it's an option. Whoop, uh-oh. I got some red coming in here. It's trying to, the red is trying to take over on the palette. It's doing its best. And then purple. I could watch it at like 1.5x speed though, not with editing software so easily. It's I mean you can, but it makes it harder to scrub and pause and snip. Not impossible, just harder. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. There are ways to speed it up slightly, but it's not, it's still going to take hours. There's no trick that I can use that's going to not make it take more time than the original stream was for me to go through and edit the stream. That's sort of the point. I'm not using Rush. I'm using iMovie, and I'm not changing because iMovie is free and I already know how to use it. All right, we got a purple stripe and we got a yellow stripe. Editing is the bane of your existence. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it. It's just time consuming. I actually kind of get a kick out of editing a lot of the time. Okay, rainbow. Let's do kind of fried, kind of fabulous for a red top row. And then there's only 3 rows, so gotta be judicious with our choices. I'm thinking maybe a yellow and then a blue. Do you want to do red, yellow, and blue? Red, orange, and purple? Do we want to go completely off script? Do we want to do purple for the outside? I haven't really used purple so much. Maybe we should use purple for the outside. Or actually, I guess purple would be the inside one, wouldn't it? Would it? I don't know. Purple should be the inside one, I think. I don't freaking remember which way rainbows go. Got any rainbow experts in the chat? Chat, help. How do rainbows go? I've already committed to doing red in the center, so I fucked myself. Green, purple. Okay, green and purple. But I've already put red in the center, so which side which? Roy G. Biv. That's... Well, I fucked myself then. I'm going to just do purple on the inside and green on the outside, and it'll just be wrong. And that's okay. Because it's mine and I don't care. I did not thin that out, but I think this one is actually crully enough that I can get away with it. Green top, purple bottom. All right. And I think... I want to use... I think I might want to use the glare tactics. It's just a little bit more of a yellowy green rather than like a hardcore green. I think that will work better in this context. All right. You know, it's not the most accurate rainbow, but what it lacks in scientific accuracy, it makes up for in neonness. So it's got that going for it. And I think that's beautiful. You know, it's not like the actual rainbow is neon anyway, so it was already going to be inaccurate. You wanted purple top because palm tree already has green top. That's a good point. That's a good point. But it's too late now. Now I've got that song in my head. It's too late, baby, now it's too late. Yeah. You know the one. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. That's the only part I know. Okay. Now we are on to the final step, which is the part that I'm going to use the new nano liner detail brush for. Look how freaking small that is. My goodness. Very exciting. It's pretty in neon, so it's fine. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So this is the part that I think, for me, makes it all kind of work. Which is just doing this super fine. And it doesn't have to be like the most flawlessly accurate thing in the world. It doesn't have to quite make an unbroken line through the entire thing to sort of just work. But it basically kind of gives the impression that the very center of it is brighter than everything else. And so you want this super fine line to be right in the center. Which means if you're doing this technique and you're stamping, and you don't feel like you can like hand paint this line, you will want to re-stamp it as accurately as possible outside the, and have like the actual neons be well outside the lines. Have a nice, good sort of thick, cloudy area of neonness. Those are the only lyrics you know, too. I'm glad I'm not alone on that. I feel like if the song was playing, I might be able to sing along with a couple of other parts, but just having to pull it out my ass, that's all I've got. All right, to clean. Go back in for another dip. Hopefully the camera is vaguely sort of focusing properly. I don't know what it's doing, because I can't look at the screen and also at my nails at the same time. It is. Hey, look at that. All right, another cleanup. You've been washing your face because if you don't go to bed by 10:30, you have a bad time. Well, I'm happy to be your background for face washing and before bed care. Okay. Do a little bit more white. It's Ashley. So much taller than I ever would have dreamed. Hello. Welcome. I found out today that Ashley is several inches taller than I expected her to be. And it really did something to my brain. I don't know why I expected Ashley to be the most miniature person, but I did, so. I feel like it's because everybody in my life that I think is adorable, I just assume that they must be miniature to go along with their adorableness. And to be fair, that has held up for a lot of cases. Like Maymay in real life, absolutely as small as I expected. So tiny. Just the itty bittiest. You're always taller than people think. And older. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't really... I'm so bad at gauging people's ages that, like, it's not... It doesn't occur to me to think about how old people are, generally speaking, unless they do or say something to sort of place themselves for me in an age bracket. I do tend to assume that most people are younger than me, that I associate with on the internet. But that is just because most people are younger than me that I associate with on the internet. Historically, it has been the case. And indeed, all of y'all are younger than me. She gives angry and tiny vibes. Are you talking about Ashley or Maymay? Ashley does not give angry vibes at all. Tiny, yes. Angry, no. The internet does run young on average. Hello, Daphne. Welcome. We're doing neons. We're doing neon sign nails to celebrate the start of neon season, because holy heck do I ever have a lot of neons that either just released or are releasing or are about to release. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the Monarch ones literally released today. The BCB ones release on... What's today? Today's Thursday. So the BCB ones release on Saturday. And then there's some more that are in here that I have not been using for this, but that are on that swatch wheel that release in mid-May. That are a secret and I'm not allowed to tell you about them. You do get hangry. That's valid though. I mean, I think anybody who doesn't get hangry is like, there's something wrong with you if you don't get hangry. Like how? How do you do that? How do you not get hangry? I don't understand it. It's too alien to me. I kind of messed up the white on that part, but on that last thong. Way too thick. Way too thick. We need to get rid of that quick. I did a bad job. Might as well clean up that other one as well while I'm at it, which was only slightly too thick. Enough to annoy me. Okay. Here we go. Let's try that again, shall we? See, even having the freaking tiniest brush known to man, you can still mess up a fine line pretty darned easily. All right. You need to get a gallon of acetone in the next few days. Yes, Ashley, it is one of the new Starly brushes. I splurged and bought 3 of them that were kind of gaps in my brush assortment. This is the first time I'm using this one. This is the Nano, and yes, I am very pleased with it. I'm glad that I bought it. As much as I love my other detail brush, the Cirque one, it's just the tiniest little bit too big for certain applications. This one is the right size for exactly those applications, which happen to include this application, where I'm trying to do the finest freaking line possible down the center of a neon glow. I'm still not completely nailing it, but, you know, I can't blame the tools for that part, at least. The tool itself is doing a great job of being fine enough for it. Yeah, I picked up 2 of the longer liner brushes because I had ones that length, but the ones that I had were a little bit fatter. So I got the Macro and the Mega, I think, are the names of them. And then this one's the Nano. I really wanted the full set, but like, it was just too much money. It was too much money, and a lot of the brushes are ones that I just honestly wouldn't use often enough to make it sort of worthwhile. But this one I definitely will use a ton. They're beautiful too, and they feel nice. And like they have the caps and everything. I do think that the little individual cases are a bit silly, but sorry, I know this isn't the best angle for y'all to see what I'm doing, but when I'm doing stuff that's this fine, I need to be able to see it. It's difficult for me to be able to see it and also let you see it and also be able to work on it reasonably accurately. Okay. There we go. Dang it, liquids, why you flow? Totally. Yeah, I actually, yeah, as soon as I saw that it was going to be brushes, I like hollered. I slid into Starly's emails and went, "Hey, guess what I do? You should send me a kit, a set of your brushes in PR." And they ignored me, which is fine. But then I was immediately like, "Who am I kidding? I'm not gonna wait on the vain hope that they'll send me PR. I'm just going to buy the ones that I want the worst." And then, of course, they ended up announcing that they aren't going to restock them. They aren't necessarily going to restock them. Originally, they were talking about restocking the whole thing in 4 months, and then they like changed the messaging. So who the hell knows now? But yeah. You know, you got to shoot your shot, right? Like Wayne Gretzky always says, you miss 100% of shots you don't take. Okay, I think we're on to the seal glaze, pardon me, portion of the evening. So we will do some seal glaze over all of these, and then what do we think? Should I do matte or gloss top coat for these? I'm not going to make a poll, just tell me in chat. You were going to wait for Black Friday? Yeah. Sylvia, you feel like we are similar in age? I don't know. You'll be 45 in November? Okay, so we're similar in age. I'm 49, so close. I'm closer to the half century mark, but same ballpark. I'm seeing glossy, 1 matte, 2 mattes. Oh, Matt is in the lead. Oh boy. We got 3 votes for matte and 2 for glossy. They are very cute. Matte will definitely make the design pop, especially in photos, for sure. Ashley, you're never in the popular vote. I mean, only 5 of you have said anything, so there's time. Other people have the opportunity to put their votes in. Good night, Kat. Thanks for joining us. I guess I can probably kill this now. Don't really need that up on the screen anymore. Let's take a... Oh! Jammy got up. What's up, Jammy Dodgers? Why'd you suddenly get up? I was just switching over to the cat cam. What you doing? What you doing, little Dodgers? She might just be turning around to resettle. Is that what you're doing? Are you just turning around to resettle? What a good girl. She's so blinky. Oh, this thing is starting to blink on me. Murray, I am going to notice multiple votes from the same person. She's so funny. What a goofy kitty. I love that idiot. All right, it looks like it's going to be matte. Because I got 4 votes for matte and 2 for glossy. So. Sorry, Ashley. Maybe if you had better opinions, you would be in the winning vote more often. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, but it was just funny for me to say. I don't think I'm gonna do giant jammy on your TV. Gotta shoot your shot. Are you watching stream on your TV? Are we in high def right now? Is Jammy Dodger in high def? She's such a good kitty. I'm just gonna do matte straight on top of the seal glaze. I don't think I'm gonna bother with a regular top coat. Normally I would, but I feel like I'm probably not going to be wearing these more than a couple of days because I have several other manis I need to do in the next day or so. So chances are good that this is coming off tomorrow regardless. Ashley, you'll just see your way out. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I just totally got freaking matte top coat all over my finger. You just don't have the eye for nail art. Here's the thing. The matte versus glossy debate does not have a correct answer. It's just whatever you feel like doing. So there are some things where I would say, rarely there are some things where I would say it is obviously better to do one or the other. But that's like hollow. Hollow, you should just never, don't mattify hollow. What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't do it. But yeah, for most things, there's not really a right answer. There's just a, what is your preference? And I think sometimes I have a slight preference for matte with certain kinds of nail art only because I'm thinking about the fact that I'm going to be photographing it. And I know that photographing it is going to be a pain in the ass for certain kinds of highly detailed designs if it's glossy. So a lot of the time I'll choose based solely on that. Oh boy, my phone is dying on me here. You do matte if you're trying to draw out a mani design or using chrome powder? Yeah. That's a technique thing though with the gel stuff a lot of the time. There are right answers with some of those more advanced techniques, but yeah. All right. She is mattifying. She is almost fully mattified. I have a little freaking dingleberry here. A nail dingleberry. Taking pictures of details glossy is a pain? Yeah, exactly. Huge pain. Very annoying. All right. Gonna switch back over to nails. Show the final. Let me get myself in here a bit more so we can get some better light for this. There we go. It's not 100% mattified yet, but it's most of the way there. Might take a little while. I slathered that on real thick. But yeah, that's the final look. So we used for this just polishes from the BCB neons. Hang on, these guys are already out and old. Just putting together the new. All right, that's the new BCB collection that is coming out on Saturday evening. And then the Monarch, this collection came out earlier on today. How do we want to arrange these guys? I guess like that. We'll do it like that. Sure. That's fine. I think that's pretty good. All right. So that's those two collections. I have posted the Monarchs. I posted a nail art that I did with the Monarchs. I've posted some short swatch short swatch reels with both of them, just showing the last coat application, and then the BCBs I'm going to be posting full swatches for those over the next couple of days. Probably tomorrow, actually. I'll start on those. So you'll be able to see those ones in more detail. And I have comparisons between all the new BCBs and the existing neon BCBs that came out separately in other things over the last couple of months. So that's all of that. And because this was not a BCB and Monarch stream, this was a neon stream, I will show you my neon wheels again. I just dropped one of my neon wheels. Neon, so neon. I love them. If you asked me if I was a fan of neons, I probably would have told you that I don't really wear neons very often and I don't really buy a lot of neons. But like, yeah, okay, there's two small collections in here that I got as PR, but like most of these neons I purchased. It turns out I'm actually a big fan of neons and really apparently like them a lot. Apparently I'm a bit of a sucker for neons, especially neon rainbows. You want the BCB tealy color? This one here. This one's beautiful. I would just say that it's not on the swatch rings for this, because I would say it's not a true neon, because it does not fluoresce under UV. And while it does vibe beautifully with the neon collection, it feels like it fits in a neon collection. It is not a true neon, and I am going to be a hard ass about that. If you call something a neon and it's not, I'm not just going to go along with it. But likewise, if you don't call something a neon and it is, I'm putting it on my neon swatch wheel. Like, there are several on here that were not marketed as neons, but clearly are, because holy heck, do they ever fluoresce under black light. Actually, let me see if I can get this, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to turn off a light, or actually maybe just move the light. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, it's kind of picking it up slowly. So you can see everybody on here fluoresces quite nicely. Some better than others, but they all fluoresce, at least to some extent. So yeah, totally a hard ass about that when it comes to things being labeled as neons. Jamie used dodge. Jamie is on the ground now. She has decided to sploot on the ground. She's completely flat. She is a pancake cat. It is, to be fair, quite warm in here. It's it got up to like 28 degrees here today, or 27 or 28 degrees. I don't know what that is in American. A little too warm. Warm enough that most people would have their AC on. It's like right on the border for us. If it was a little bit more humid, we probably would have turned the AC on. But the humidity isn't too stupid yet, so we prefer to have the windows open and such if we can handle it. I'm so glad that worked. I wasn't sure if the camera was going to be able to pick up the fluorescence there from the UV. Somebody's outside yelling again. Some like sort of small animal. 88 to 92, you think? That sounds maybe probably right. I said 28, yeah. Do you hear that? It's probably very quiet for you, but I can't tell if it's foxes. I think it's foxes, but I can't quite tell. We get both foxes and raccoons, and some of the sounds they make are very similar to each other. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the foxes. The raccoons usually sound a little bit more screamy, but it does depend. They can also make barking noises. All right. I think that's it, y'all. A little over the 2-hour mark. Not too bad. We did some cute nail art, I think. I'm happy with it. I should have done the palm tree on my thumb, though. I overestimated the space that the sunglasses would require and underestimated the space that the palm tree would require. But that's okay. 'Cause it worked. And it was kind of fun. And if you do neons using this technique, or like I said, the other technique that works better with the more sort of slightly sheer neons, like the Holotako retro jellies. Also that technique that I demonstrated for the sheer neons, you can also use highlighters. You can do that same base technique with the thin white line and then the little bit of white cloudiness with thinner around the outside of it, and then just highlighter over top. And then again, you can go in with your white fine liner to do the little thin pop of white in the center. It works really well. So if you have highlighters and you want to do those instead of messing around with neons, that is an option. All right. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. And yeah, I don't know what I'm doing next week yet. I don't think I have anything that I have to do I don't have any collections that I have to do a thing for. So I think next week is probably going to be a nail art week. So if you have suggestions or things that you want to see me try out, hit me up in the comments or in the Discord or on Instagram or whatever. If you have done this or try to do this, then, I want to see pictures of what you do with it. Yeah, questions, etc., just holler. You know where to find me. Also, don't forget to do the things with the poking of the various buttons to get notified about streams, because I do this every week. Mermaid? Ooh, good idea. Maybe I should do a mermaid next week. That is a good idea. I do need to do a mermaid mani for a collab as well. Maybe I'll do 2 mermaid manis this month. We'll see. Anyway, all right. Thanks. Bye.